Hey everybody, and welcome to another edition of Out Today and What I Missed, this time for November 21st, 2025. Not only do I have another 20 albums for you this week, but we are officially hitting 1,000 albums that I've covered this year so far, with one more week to go before I get into my top 100 albums of 2025. So no more anticipation, let's just get into it. First up, we have Bloodbound with Field of Swords. The 11th album in 20 years from the Swedish band sees the band coming back strong with a concept album about Vikings in the Middle Ages, and they are continuing to deliver the goods and make some of the best material to date. Everything you love about the band is on this one, from the blazing fast power metal songs, the mid-tempo stompers, the left-of-center heavy metal anthems that make this band stand out amongst the rest. The production is right where it needs to be and feels so good to listen to, and the songwriting never wears out its welcome, with only one song going over the 4.5 minute mark. It comes in, pillages like a true Viking, and leaves you wanting more. If you've never checked out Bloodbound before, but you enjoy the likes of Ordenogan, Dynasty, Powerwolf, and Serenity, you will love what Bloodbound has to offer. What a stellar power metal and heavy metal album. Next up, we have Danko Jones with Leo Rising. I'll keep this one short and sweet, just like the album. The 12th album from this long-running Canadian band is just pure fun hard rock. Whether it gets a little bit heavier, really simple, or just straight-ahead rock and roll, the band knows what they're doing at this point. There's no reason for the band to reinvent the wheel at this point, as they know what they're doing and their formula works every time. The production is perfect for this album, the songwriting is lean, mean, and exactly what it needs to be. If you enjoy the likes of the Helicopters, Thunder Mother, Volbeat, and Hardcore Superstar, you're going to love Danko Jones. Now we have Darktribe with Forgotten Reveries. The 4th album from this French progressive power metal band is an incredible display of the genre. It is so catchy, but the band knows how to show off their chops at just the right moments. The lyrical content is deep for anyone who studies this kind of thing that we call life. The songwriting is what makes everything work, feeling like a grandiose mix of Symphony X, Vianity, Stradivarius, The Ferrymen. Darktribe has this essence of progressive power metal that has always made the genre simply work. The genre hasn't been that impactful in 2025, sadly, but when it does show up, they give it all they got, and Darktribe is absolutely doing that with one of the finest examples in 2025. This is essential prog power listening. Now we got Frozen Land with Icemelter. The 3rd album from this Finnish power metal band captures that pure nostalgia of the classic late 90s, early 2000s power metal sound, but updated enough for 2025. It combines all the right elements of the past, the razor-sharp guitars, the soaring vocals, the blazing fast double bass assaults, but it still knows how to write catchy songs. The production is tight and allows for every single layer of the music to be heard with ease. At 8 songs at almost 36.5 minutes, this thing flies by, but you'll still want more. If you love the legends like Stradivarius, Masterplan, and Halloween, you will love what Frozen Land has in all of their power metal glory. Next up is In Virtue with Age of Legends. The 3rd album from this LA outfit is an intriguing mix of music, combining the strongest elements of Melodeath, modern metal, hard rock, progressive power metal, and so much more. Age of Legends feels like almost like a best of genres all rolled into brand new music. The fact that I can hear Soilwork, Opeth, Symphony X, Amaranth, and Porcupine Tree all rolled into just one track, with another feeling like a tribute to 2010's hard rock radio, while showing more of the shred and genre bending. While this won't be for everyone because of how diverse it is, this is for those who enjoy a grand variety of heavy music, spearheaded by the co-founder of Gear Gods, Trey Xavier. This is a varied but consistent album that shows off what is possible if you're not afraid to show off all the different styles of music you enjoy to play. If that's for you, then you need In Virtue. Now we have Karu with Perdition. The sophomore album and 2nd album in 2 years from this Finnish Melodeath band is my first foray into the band, and I am loving what I'm hearing. Featuring past and present members of Celesti, Alliance, and Crystalic, this is a sophisticated and grandiose example of what Melodeath can be in 2025. With a 7-song track list, 4 of the songs are over the 7-minute mark, with the longest being over 12, and 3 instrumental interludes, which I know is kind of make or break for some people. The album is conceptually set in feudal Japan as well, and it gives off that atmosphere full force. The production feels human, but it is so dense and rich in the process. If you want a wild mix of Mors Principium Est, Whispered, Winter Sun, and the heaviest side of Brimir, check out Karu and all they have to offer. Now we have Terror Corpse with Ash Eclipses Flesh. The debut album from this Houston, Texas trio featuring members of Necrofire is a slab of death metal, grindcore, and the occasional doom elements that know how to leave a pulverizing mark. 10 tracks, 36.5 minutes, hits everything that you love about bands like Malignant Altar, Morbid Angel, Incantation, and Celtic Frost all rolled into one. The production is raw and primal, reminding you of 1989 death metal, and the songs explore so much of the genres that they cover, all while sounding proficient and extreme. If you love that aggressive side, the experimental side, and of course that pits-inducing death metal, check out Terror Corpse and prepare to be destroyed in the process. And finally, for brand new albums out today, we have Treat with The Wild Card. The 10th album from this long-running Swedish band is just that satisfying mix of melodic hard rock and AOR that just sounds so good, no matter if it's 1985 or 2025. The production is simply stellar, and the songwriting is one earworm after another in terms of quality. Everyone in the band is in top form, and you can tell that they're giving it their all. Treat is living proof that after 40 years, that doesn't mean that the quality of music has to go down. You can still write some of your best music 4 decades after your debut. Bands like Treat, Giant, Honeymoon Suite, and others have shown this year that this style, while many of their contemporaries are resting on their laurels, they don't have to. I'm so thankful for bands like Treat and how they continue to deliver the goods. This is how you make AOR melodic hard rock shine. Please check out The Wild Card. And now for everything that I missed, starting with Argesk with Moonlight Pyromancy. The sophomore album from this UK band hits that sweet spot of Meloblack that I wish more bands were doing in 2025. It knows how to feel dark and evil while having these haunting melodies and harmonies that can lure you in right before you fall under their spell. The musicianship on this one is fantastic, and you can tell they truly care about the music they are crafting and making sure it's the best it possibly can be. The production is that right blend of clean but just raw and human enough to feel authentic. At 8 songs and a little over 45 minutes, this is a perfect display of what a band can do, but still leave you wanting to hear what will come next. If you enjoy bands like Dissection, Thalkundra, Emperor, and early day Cradle of Filth, you need to see what this band is all about. Meloblack has not had that many albums in 2025, so you have to celebrate the good ones, and this is more than apt. Next up is Asira with As Ink in Water. In a mashup of genres I've wanted to hear for a long time, the sophomore album from this UK band mixes post-black and progressive metal in a combination that feels tailor-made for me. This is a wonderfully made combination of sounds that balances out the heavy aspects, the proggy aspects, and other elements of genre bending to create a unique album that hits as hard in the lyrical content as it does the musical approach. The production is wonderful and you can hear every layer with ease. The songwriting does get into epic territory, with shortened non-interludes being about 5.5 minutes and 2 epics over 11 minutes long. This contains so much of what I love about bands like Opeth, Niavlascaris, and Abstract Illusion, Visitant, and Heritoire, all rolled into one big package. If you fit into that niche of wanting to hear post-blackened progressive metal, check out Asira and be prepared to be blown away. You don't come across a band like this every day. Now we have Blood Sky with 2025, or MMXXV if you want to be pedantic. Ever since discovering Michael Mills' band Toehider, I have wanted him to make a full-on progressive power metal band, as he simply has the voice for it. In 2025, it's finally happened in the form of Blood Sky, an Australian duo with the other half being Richard Mosley of Taliesin, putting together all of the music and instrumentation. Together they have made a prog power album that hits everything that I love about bands like Symphony X, Halloween, and Stradivarius, plus so many more, to create something that feels authentic and a hard-hitting album in this style. It is sheer brilliance in every sense of the word. The production feels like that late 90s power metal sound, making it feel human and alive, and the songwriting is undeniably catchy and filled with so many ear-catching moments, and plus again, those vocals. This is everything that I hope for, and it only gets better with every single listen. I wish more bands in this genre would put this much effort into their music. Easily one of, if not the best, progressive power metal album of the 2020s. Now we have Bloom with The Light Week Chase. The sophomore album from the Sydney, Australia band conquers the ever-growing list of bands in the melodic hardcore, metalcore, and post-hardcore genres. They mix the brutality that comes from hardcore, the melodies and harmonies that stick with you, and it's also done in such an earnest way that I can't get enough of. It brings so much of what I love about the second wave metalcore of the mid-2000s, the later stages of the genre in the late 2000s and early 2010s, and enough of a modern take to appeal to the 21st century crowd in 2025. 2025. The production is so slick and polished, but feels authentic at the same time, and the songwriting will be stuck in your head for days. If you enjoy the likes of Downswing, Greyhaven, Adept, and Bad Omens, Bloom will have something for you. It's been a good year for this style, and we're ending it on a strong note with a band like Bloom reeling everything in. It's a great thing to see. Next up is Elarive with Umbra. The third album since 2023 for this doomy black and post-metal band is quite the album in a genre to help close out 2025. It hits this fine line between all these genres to create a style that is so filled with dread, sorrow, and cathartic overtones that can equally pull at your heartstrings and punch you right in the guts at the same time. If the emotions weren't already swinging on this one, JJ from Harakiri for the Sky makes a guest appearance here, and it simply hurts in the best of ways. This is for anyone who enjoys doom metal, post-metal, post-black, and more of the side of things and want it drenched in emotion. This very well could be in my top albums of the year if it keeps going this way. With every passing listen to it, it inches closer and closer. If you want a mix of Oceans of Slumber, Remina, Bianca, and Her Myth, you need to check out Elarive. It simply is a darkly magical album. Up now is a band name that I hope I get right, Asthesis with Out of Step. Despite how it looks, this is actually the last album that I heard in 2025, in contention for Out Today and What I Missed. When one of the albums that I got pushed back to December 19th, I have been opening slots, and this French band graciously sent me their third album, and I am enjoying what I'm hearing. It's a wonderful mix of progressive post-rock, alternative rock, and flourishes of cinematic moments and even trip-hop. Compared to a lot of albums that I covered, I mean, just look at this week's collection alone, this is quite the subdued affair, but there are moments that get quite heavy for the style, and their use of dynamics makes the album flow together, and it's worth enjoying. The production is natural and lets everyone shine. If you enjoy the likes of Porcupine Tree, Long Distance Calling, and even Massive Attack, you know, the band that did the theme for House, Asthesis should be a band that you look out for, as they put out one of the best progressive post-rock albums of 2025. Now we have Headmark with their self-titled debut. The self-titled debut from this one-man Norwegian band is an excellent display of how cold and dark post-black can be, but still sounding optimistic. The production is a bit raw, but I think it works in the favor of the music, giving it this intense atmosphere that is hard to describe until you hear it. The vocals may or may not be a turn-off, as the typical post-black vocals are not here, in favor of more clean and aggressive vocals, but not your typical black metal vocal approaches. If anything, this is closer to post-metal side of things, with just enough of a blackened edge to it all. At 10 songs and almost 37 minutes, this is quite the journey of sound that hits so many elements but leaves you completely satisfied. If you enjoy the likes of Alcest, Agalog, and Death Heaven, you will enjoy what Headmark brings to the table. It's only going to get bigger and better from here. Now we have Imperialist with Prime. The third album from this California band is an excellent display of the aggressive and cosmic wonder that is black metal and what it can bring. The production is so slick and polished compared to other bands of the genre, and it doesn't have that raw atmospheric approach that it normally does. Every note feels absolutely devastating, and it's matched in tone with the lyrical themes of the horrors of space. 9 songs and almost 45 minutes of some of the best cosmic black metal that I've ever heard. For those who enjoy the likes of Necrophobic, Thulkandra, Nightbearer, and Brothog, you need Imperialist. Check them out immediately for all of your cosmic black metal needs. Now we have People Slicer with Fleshwork. The third album from this British band is easily the band's best album to date. They have laid waste to their previous work and made one of the best mathcore, post-hardcore, grind, and more genre albums of the year. The album can get so intense and brutal while having these elements of melody, harmony, and emotion that will blindside you if you're not paying attention. The band has refined their sound, and they are still adding new elements with every single album. Fleshwork feels like the most comprehensive and overall best album from beginning to end. The production hits so hard and pummels you, and the songwriting will hit you with so many left and right turns, I'd be amazed if you don't fall to the ground at the end. If you dig the Callous Cowboys, Rolla Tomasi, Godflesh, and Converge, Pupil Slicer is the new torchbearer for the sound. This is stunning work. Next up is Solence with Angels Calling. I can already sense how polarizing this album will be for those who come from my funeral doom, prog, and post-black reviews. The fifth album from the Swedish band takes a more fun approach to modern rock and metal and makes it as catchy and full of earworms as possible. This is a true modern pop metal album in every sense of the phrase. It's so memorable and filled with hooks, melodies, harmonies that will not leave your head no matter how hard you try. The fact they are not the biggest band in the US rock radio right now is absolutely astounding astounding to me, but I think it could happen in time. The production is as slick and as polished as any modern pop album. The songwriting hits so many genres without ever feeling out of place, but if you enjoy the likes of Electric Callboy, Siamese, Ice Nine Kills, and Fame on Fire, Solence may be your new obsession. Just give this one a proper listen. Now we have Stargazer with Stone Cold Creature. The fourth album from this Norwegian band captures everything I love about that mid-70s through the 90s melodic metal and melodic rock, and it just sounds so good to listen to. Every song is sure to get your fist in the air and chanting for more. Nothing ever stays its welcome, as it is 14 songs, but it's only 44 minutes long, leaving all the meat on the bone and no fat left whatsoever. This is competent and striking music, and some of the best in this style in 2025. For those who enjoy the likes of TNT, Roulette, and Ronnie Romero, Stargazer is required listening. It's everything about a tribute to the past, but updated just enough for 2025. And finally today we have Sun City with Forever. The debut album from this Danish band instantly blew me away, so much that I had to make room for this one as soon as I heard it without even thinking twice. I even would have put this one on last week's list had I not already recorded last week, but hey, that's how it works. It's just that soothing, emotional, and satisfying mix of melodic rock, AOR, synthwave, and more that helps you relax in a world where relaxing is one of the hardest things to do. At 10 songs and almost 37.5 minutes of music, it just weaves into each other and you just don't want it to end, and it calls for instant replays. I can kick back to this one, and as much as I enjoyed the latest album from the Midnight, all of my pain and sorrow just washes away for a short amount of time as I listen to this one. This is music to chill out to and just try to enjoy life for what it is. And if you need that as badly as I do, check out Sun City and all of the music has to offer. Trust me, this might be the break that you need from our current reality. And there you go, folks, another 20 albums down for Out Today and What I Missed, and 1,000 albums done in 2025 so far. So what do you think? Did I pick out some good albums? Did I pick out some bad ones? Anything that might capture your interest? Anything you're going to steer clear of? Anything that I might have missed? Please let me know down below. And of course, like, comment, share, subscribe. That hype button I'm not too familiar with, but apparently it really grows your channel, so if you're watching on mobile, please go ahead and do that. And of course, come back next week as we do the final Out Today and What I Missed for 2025 with November 28th, 2025. The last week of coverage before we get into the top 100 albums of 2025. But until then, for the Heavy Debriefings YouTube channel, this is Josh Runquist saying, embrace the skullet.